Things Heard and Seen is a brand new Netflix original drama horror. Of course, I watched this because it had the horror genre label attached to it, and it was on Netflix, and it stars Amanda Seyfried, and also has Natalie Dyer in it from Stranger Things. So I was very curious on this. Now, the movie American Splendor has a good amount of praise to it, and it's a film that these directors did. So I was like, okay, even though I haven't seen that one, it's pretty well received. So I was like, hey, maybe they can put something out that's quite good in the genre. But to call this a horror movie, or I get why the label is there, but we're talking about a very, very minor part of this film. So, primarily, this is a film about betrayal and a shitty husband who really is just a shitbag throughout the film, and a woman who is kind of trying to come to terms with that, and a haunting in the house that is kind of exacerbated by her mood, right? It's kind of a empowering, like a female empowering film in ways, but it's okay. I will say this. The film is insanely well acted. I mean, Amanda Seyfried is always fantastic. Natalie Dyer is great. Everybody's great. I mean, I think everyone does a very good job in the acting department. And while the husband is unbelievably unlikable, I want the guy dead from like moment one. He does a good job being that asshole that definitely makes me feel that kind of anger and hatred towards him. But that's kind of the point, right? The film it feels melodramatic, which is what it is, and I wouldn't say the drama parts they're not bad. They do just drag. So the film does feel long and boring at times, and then the ending comes and you think to yourself like, wow, that's what it amounted to? Fuck, that wasn't worth it. So unfortunately for me, this one is not a film. This is not a thing that needs to be heard or seen. How about that? It's just, it's one of those films where it's like technically very well done, so you can tell that you have some pretty talented people behind and in front of the camera. It's just the film is a slog, and anyone who's coming into it as a genre fan and is wanting a part of the film to pay off in the way that they came, in the way that they came to it for, you're not getting that. But I'm a fan of all genres, and so if it was a fantastic drama with very mild horror elements and it worked insanely well, fine, awesome. I would be sitting here raving the thing for sure. But the film just is too boring for me. But it could have worked. It could have worked, and I get what they were going for. I do. I feel like I do anyways. Even though the film didn't work for me, I do feel like I got what they were going for with the film, the message of the film and whatnot. And I feel like it could have worked if they had focused more on the horror. Like, this film should have been 50-50. The drama's good, like, the shitbag husband and the dramatic tension between them and what he's doing and all of that stuff. I like that. I think it's good. It just goes on for too long, and there's this like horror aspect to it that you're waiting for it to have some relevance to the film. And while it does technically, and I guess there are going to be people, of course, that like this film and think it does work, that's fine. It just did not for me almost at all. I just feel like the film would have had a much more, a much better payoff had the tension built through not only the dramatic tension but also the horrific tension, because the mirroring of her mood and the the haunting of the house could have been elevated together. And in this, while that does kind of happen, it just doesn't happen to the degree you would want it to happen in order for this film to be entertaining, or even pack that kind of gut punch that maybe it would be going for. It just doesn't have any of those things for me. It's a boring film, with great performances and a great looking movie, but that doesn't really fucking matter at the end of the day. It's entertaining, or it has some deep, prolific message that you can take something from it and grow from it, or whatever. It doesn't have any of those things for me personally. So yeah, this one's a pass for me for sure. Shame. Oh well. Adios.